Well, welcome, one and all, to another Finney Roundtable inside the circle tent of joy and passion and love for like crazy clowns. Because apparently a pack drop's coming, and there's a clown that like freaks me out enough that I'm kind of in love with it. It's weird, that clown.
I have not had enough coffee for this yet.
I think that's Ricardo was drinking coffee until I showed up. Then he started drinking beer. So you're not the one.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
That's just a higher order of thinking right there.
So let's go around and introduce people, because some of you are new to these streams, some of you are not. We're kind of a mix of communities here, so that's good. I'm Jimmy. This is Corey. We're your hosts. Ricardo, why don't you go? Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Ricardo. I come from Porto, Portugal, a beautiful place with a lot of wine and beer also, which is a good thing. I'm a mix of archaeologist and also tour guide. So I do both. And thanks to COVID, I have to do more archaeology. My body complains a little bit, but what can you do? You have to just dig and dig and dig. And recently, well, let's say 6 months, 7 months ago, I got a special interest into crypto and NFTs and all of these things. And then I met Finney. I fell in love. It's a good love that I have. And yeah, I'm also the host of the Rolodex on Cryptowriter. So it's a crazy show. Not very good, but well, I do my best.
Yeah, you're one of my favorite people. Like, you sound so nice and polite with that introduction, but don't be fooled, everyone, because if you spend more than like 20 minutes.
Not a mosquito?
Okay, so there's these guys, you know, in Japan, and they like to ride down the street at like the pace, like the speed of like a 2-year-old on a tricycle, and just rev their engines. Usually doesn't happen in Okinawa because people are like way more chilled and cool. But apparently,
okay. Here's a question. Ordinarily, this is where I would make a tiny penis joke, but is that racist? or is me asking making it racist?
No,
that's what makes it racist.
Yeah,
as soon as you ask.
Damn it!
It's totally
walked myself right into that.
You started off sweet.
But yeah, we love you, Ricardo. Ricardo likes to tell things straight as they are. So yeah, cool. Smithy, welcome back. We had you a couple weeks ago. As everyone knows, the builder. How are you?
Yep, I'm doing good. Bit tired. Work's been a bit full on lately, but yeah, doing good. Getting back into it slowly, building out Shift City, putting lots of gold around, and yeah, being a degenerate in the writer community when I can. Putting, some memes up, some edits of Sean and stuff, and yeah, enjoy it a lot. It's good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this all comes together. So I have a couple questions for you. Marty, okay. It's great to see you in here. I didn't realize that you were that connected with the Phineas, because you've been keeping on the DL, on the down low. Another great builder, a big part of the Uplift, a big part of Chicken Caw. You've been on a couple streams on our channel recently, so definitely check out what you're doing. But yeah, what brings you to Finney Lands? I'm kind of curious about that. We want to dive into that. But who are you and what do you do first?
Well, yeah, thanks for letting me join you. We were hanging out in the Cryptowriter Finney chat the other day, and I've recently been adopted by them, and I think it's probably because I bring some prizes to their poker games is why they let me come hang out. But I've just been so inspired. You're right. I've been inspired by their community and the engagement and the social games that they have on their channel. And so been spending quite a bit of time hanging out with their community over there and love them. Love what I see there. I love the people. As far as who I am, I live in the Uplift. My company is built in the Metaverse. And we're just here to support Uplift, support community, support Cryptowriter and Finney. And by being inspired by them, we've actually I've recruited Edward, and we're going to start hosting more social games and just really participating in that section of the community that I've been so inspired by. So.
Yeah, it's very cool. I was super happy to see you in there. Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
I like turtles. I was actually just in the. I'm gonna head over so we can do some gratitudes. But somebody posted. Gary actually posted some more pictures of this freaking gallery this guy's putting up. Like he's just like he's hosting everyone. Like he's just putting pictures from all sorts of different artists up. So I wanted to go over and check that out. But anyway, yeah, I didn't have anything to say. I wanted to have something funny to say, and I didn't. And so I just I played the sheep turtle card.
It's all right. And Reese, the first time I ever got his name right was because he got it wrong.
Yeah, the first time. Hopefully it's a continuing tradition.
I like it. So your name is spelled R-H-Y-S, and for whatever reason, I just assumed it was Rice. Now that's a racist joke because I live in Japan. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get it right, and Sean wouldn't let me forget it. So the fact that like you showed up with it spelled R-I-C-E, I love it. And Reese, you did some really interesting things last week in the channel, which made me laugh. Basically, you went in there and you said, to anyone out there, hit me with your best shot and take the piss out of me as hard as you possibly can. And you organized like a whole meme contest around you. And
just shit on meme.
Right? Yeah, it was. Ricardo had a couple of zingies, but Joe, I think. That guy's
Joe and his words.
Joey's nasty.
I can take those.
So I think most people know who you are. Your claim to fame in the crypto Finney world is not the same as my claim to fame for you. My claim to fame for you actually has nothing to do with Finney at all. I know you're busy and I keep harassing you, but we definitely need to do a blog post because some of those builds that you've done in the Uplift where they're like living mazes where you have to flip switches and turn things and, shoot arrows at moving targets from like mine carts, like in order to get the door open before like lava dumps on your head and stuff like that. They're really cool builds. So that's where I kind of first met you. Was on one of Sean's shows with the Mario.
Yeah, that's right. The Mario plot. And you couldn't even jump down the pipe.
I couldn't even jump. I couldn't use it. My computer was so slow. I couldn't even jump, and it's like it was the worst ever.
I had to break the pipe to let Jimmy down, and then I had to save you from the lava. You were an absolute liability in that game. I would not play survival with you. PvP, I would definitely play with you.
No, that's good. Yeah. So Cryptowriter wise, you're kind of one of the long time big guys up, big little guys. What do you do over there for people who might not know?
I basically just sit in there, troll people, have a laugh, try to brighten people's day at the same time, and try to moderate it where I can, but. It's hard when I'm probably saying some of the worst stuff that's going on. And then there's Charlie Q. I know I've been a long time faithful to Cryptowriter, Crypto Finney. I think I joined them early March when they still had a relatively small following. And I just love the community, love the vibe, love being able to take the piss out of people and everyone has a laugh and enjoys it. And I love Finney. Finney's awesome. The pixel art is amazing. John Trafford absolutely knocks it out of the park. What more could you want?
I'm a big fan of the art as well, and just the whole concept. So yeah, I like it. It's funny because like Charlie's funny. Charlie always comes and watches Sean and mine stream, and he's got very different opinions than us.
He has very different opinions, but it's healthy.
But yeah, and he's good and he's funny. And my favorite thing was like he kind of apologized for having a comment, comment deleted from an official post that he was kind of throwing some words that maybe
Was this the recent one?
Yeah,
Sean's
post. and he was kind of upset. He was kind of upset. He's just like, man, you deleted my comments. And right, Reese gets in there, and Reese is just like, it's okay, man. Like all my comments got deleted too.
I commented underneath his paraphrasing stuff that he said and just like debating it back to him. But obviously, because I referenced what he said, mine got deleted too.
But hats off to Charlie. It was a really long post. He came back later and he rewrote it, in a way that was a little bit more respectful. And I like, seriously, hats off. He had something to say. He didn't let that stop him. He came back and he played the game, and it was definitely worth saying. So if you're out there, Charlie, we appreciate you.
The good thing about Charlie is that he's not afraid to just to say whatever he thinks. Sometimes a lot of stupid stuff, but most of the times he comes out just to be the voice of the oppressed and the weak. At least he thinks so. That's one of the things. He's very funny. Sometimes we have just to stop him a little bit, but most of the times I think it's the soul of that. If he wasn't there, it wouldn't be so funny, because he has a good spirit.
Yeah, one of the things I like about that community is that there are a lot of very spirited people in there, and they all yell at each other. Like, I get yelled at all the time in there for burning Finneys. They're like, don't burn that Finny.
Yo. Shipples, was Charlie the one that introduced you to Ryder? Who was it?
Yeah, he was the one that recruited me. He, again, I'm pretty sure he wanted me to bring some of those prizes we like to give away to the poker games. And so he recruited me over. And actually, what you're just talking about was one of the things I've been so impressed by in that community, because there was such a healthy conversation that developed around what you were just talking about, Jimmy, about censorship versus self-regulation. And then the health of the conversation really shifted to, how do we transition from, the good old jokes that we like to tell each other, when it's just us old crew, right? To mass adoption, where if we want new people to come in and we want to appeal to the masses, do we censor ourselves? Do we self-regulate? How do we transition from that just authentic fun that we all love to have that may not be for everybody to, being appealing to the masses? And there was such a healthy conversation that I saw develop around that. And the community really came together, not fighting about it, but just having that healthy debate about how do we appeal? How do we transition? It was really good.
It's a very hard conversation. Like, you got exactly as you said, the OGs who love to just shit talk and make fun of each other and say all these really inappropriate things, but then you have all new people come in and they're immediately turned off by it. So yeah, it was a really good, healthy conversation, and it's great how the community took it in stride.
What
about the Uplift? Do you have those conversations?
Well,
I think it's pretty PG over there.
Yeah, it's all just no fun over there at all, right, Corey?
I don't know. Swinging Jimmy.
We're right. We
I don't know where this came from, but I'm here for it. I don't even get it.
I'm all for it.
I was like, I love the whole thing about it.
It's a lot of people in the Uplift. It's a lot of people complaining about making money, right? Like, you give them money and it's like, you're giving me money again? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I probably the biggest driver, other than the fact that, like, they're in the crypto space, there's those entitled people that think that they're allowed to come into your house and be shitheads. And like, you have to know me first. But yeah, no, like we were pegging all of our land sales based on the average price and giving people a little bit of a cut off that, right? So we're basically we're trying not to impact the price that way, right? So when the price went up, we were selling at that price. Price goes down, we're selling at that price. We're agnostic about it, right? But the earning loop, hasn't been complete, right? So the whole point is you have land. Obviously, like, the miners are like the secondary thing. It's way to, get uplifting out there and start testing all that stuff, fine, right? The main thing is you want to own land. We need to get that active rewards going on so that people can actually start understanding, I think, and a lot of people already do, but some people still don't, that it really is, this is a metaverse first. Minecraft, distant second, right? We just used Minecraft because we can actually make this work. So it's going to be about, having events. It's about encouraging people to come, play games or visit galleries on your land. And because of the way the active rewards are going to work, that's going to reward you disproportionately, right? As opposed to just like another passive thing where you have a thing and it, like magic number go uppy, right? It's just not, that's not what we're doing. I think that was some of the frustration and like growing pains, right? Like people are, and by people, I mean like 3 or 4 people who decided to have 500 fucking villagers are upset because we're probably going to nuke them. Rice to do that. And no. They're still in the Telegram channel. Like, modded outlaw, if you're listening, freaking love you. But the guy had 350 villagers on his land. That's 300. That's 350 people we could get in the game. There is no scenario where, like, if it was 100 villagers to one person and we could still replace the villagers with a kiosk, I would do it instantaneously. Metaverse first, Minecraft very, very distant second. Like
we totally need a Metaverse first, something. Metaverse first is good. I like
a sticker, just a tattoo on my head, like motherfuckers, Metaverse first, or something without fuckers in it.
Let's do some gratitudes. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I am there.
Let's do it.
All right, Gary's been busy.
Oh, we can do that.
Right. I mean, this is just cool because it's underwater, and I'm a nerd. But like, he's been busy. This is taking shape, and the spiral staircase is actually going to be our milestone path that goes up, circling the building. It's gonna be cool. Anyway,
I love the shaders. I wish I could run them, but like my frames per second just drop way too low.
Oh yeah,
3 frames per second on the Astrolax.
Yeah. Oh, no. That pleb graphics card.
That's funny to me too, because like in my opinion, you're one of the best builders in the game.
Yeah, I'll turn it on. I've got it. I'll turn it on to take photos, but if I got to build or anything, I've got to turn it off again because it's just a little bit too laggy. But yeah, love that shader.
Super and then there's Jimmy who plays it on pleb graphics and it drops. Yeah, 0 frames per second.
Definitely vanilla.
0 shaders, 0 frames.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new computer when I get back.
Just sell some Upliftium.
Right. All right. So yeah, I don't know that.
I don't know if I can
get a computer just yet, but what are you gonna do? All right. So bullshitbles,
sir. I am thankful for welcoming, inclusive communities. Love the welcome that I've received here at Cryptowriter and Finney. They're awesome people. Dude,
I agree. I'll go next because that's
do that, Buttercup.
Kind of what mine was. I'm grateful for awesome communities colliding.
Damn it!
I really like the synergy that's become part of our dualistic kind of communities. And Sean and I noticed this a lot on our show, but like Bullshipple said, they're really welcoming. It's awesome.
Indeed. Stealth Smith. I still really like saying your name.
Yeah. I'm grateful for the podcasts. I like coming on here and talking to everyone. That's probably, I like how, lots of people come on and talk as well. So same thing. People from all different communities and lots of ideas get thrown around. Yeah, love it.
Ooh beans. Ricardo.
I'm grateful for good, like-minded people. If my English is not being butchered, if I'm not butchering my English, if it was in Portuguese, I could just write poems or something like that.
No, just say it in Portuguese and let Corey write it. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Put me on the spot. I will not do well. All right, Rice.
Yeah, I'm grateful for communities as a whole. Again, I'm probably just repeating everyone else, but being inclusive. So I'm just grateful for Cryptowriter, Uplift, the whole Wax blockchain, and yeah.
Screw it. I'm just gonna keep going. Facts. My mom. Mother,
Grandma.
Grandma, yeah.
But the Grammy Award speech.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the music started about halfway through the first time, but no, we're just gonna keep rocking and rolling.
So we did a journeys through the Uplift this morning. Cowie and I, and we had one of the builders from Vigor come on. That was quite interesting because he was a Spanish speaker, and Cowie's awesome. I don't know how many languages he speaks, but he speaks a lot. So we were talking about this after. Ricardo, this might be something interesting for you. We were actually thinking about because he's Portuguese. Well, he's Brazilian, so he speaks Portuguese as well. We were actually thinking about like maybe getting him to do some shows on our channel that incorporate other languages, maybe Spanish, maybe Indonesian, maybe Portuguese. I think that would be really fun. So any of you who are out there who are listening, because there were a lot of people who wanted to come onto this stream, and they've got a lot of opinions about Finney and the upcoming thing. A lot of really active community members over in the Cryptowriter community that were a little bit, worried because they're like, oh, I kind of got to improve my English first because like it's not my first language. And, when I can sit back and I can type and I can do these types of things. So I just want you to know, like, Ricardo, I think your English is great, but like, I'm excited to see some of these communities branch out in other languages as well. So if you ever have any ideas, Ricardo, for things that you want to discuss on our channel, maybe we can hook you up with Cowie and you could do a Portuguese episode. I think that would be really fun, or anyone else out there as well, right? Because I'm Canadian.
I mean, I'll try. Probably won't be any good at it.
What? Huh? I missed something. the Portuguese thing? Did I say rice? Or?
He is saying that he's going to try, but I don't know.
I'll try.
But I think that's an amazing idea. Some time ago, I approached Kenny and Sean just to start something in Portuguese. I'm actually starting my podcast in Portuguese, not through Cryptowriter. But I think, and especially for Brazil, Portugal, it's a small country. We have 11 million people, but Brazil is huge. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that we can bring in if we start doing a show in Portuguese. So if Cowie wants to do something with me, or I will be, I'm open to that for sure. It will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. Like we've got Bullshippers. Do you speak Spanish? You're out west.
Well, I mean, my kids do. We've had them in an immersion school since they were kids. But every time I go to Mexico, I think I speak Spanish. But the people there tell me I'm not.
Right, that's the tequila. That's totally the tequila. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself into trouble here. But like most Canadians, we only speak one language. I would say the majority of Americans do, like with the exception of a few pockets. Australians as well. I'm always jealous of Europeans because I'm always like, oh man, like they grow up speaking like 5-6 languages, and Canadians get pissed off that we have to learn like 2 sentences in French.
I was going to say French is a big part of Canada, isn't it?
Yeah,
the French language, or no?
Yeah, it's not as common as you would think. It's yeah. So Finney 2.0. I guess if you guys wanted the real goods, you should tune into yesterday's show. Sean was on alongside Anders, and he gave us for the first hour the rundown about the mechanics and all of that stuff that's going to happen. What do you guys think? Like, what's your take on this kind of turn? Like, I know for me, I kind of got into Finney. I didn't burn anything for a really long time. Corey, I'm not even sure if you've burned anything yet. Have you?
I mean, I burned a couple coins. I haven't burnt any dudes because that just sounds crazy to me. Like, why would I?
It was for me too.
I don't want to do that. That's bonkers.
Jimmy's burning everything.
Yeah, I'm burning everything. Oh, I blame Sean. Everyone yelled at me. They're like, "You burnt a Finney with a wax necklace, and there's only like 12 of them." I'm like, dude, I burnt it on the stream with Sean. Like, why didn't he tell me not to burn it? He's like, I don't know this shit.
Sean doesn't even know his own product.
No, but I you know, my excuse is like those other 11 people, they should be happy because I just made it more rare, right? Like, so I like the idea of these attributes. You know, Bullshipples, how about you? Like, I wanted to get Cowie on here, but he was busy. But I remember like back in the early days, Cowie was in there. Like for 24 hours straight. Like he was one of the first ones, like throwing down the Finney coins and all of these things, like just burning to get the BTC miner off the bat. And yeah, he was totally into it. So you know,
dude,
I know
these last couple weeks, everybody in the chat has been like, wait till 2.0, wait till 2.0. And then, you know, in the poker games that they do in the social engagement, you know, every time there's a Finney up for grabs, like everybody's clamoring to get into those. And it's been really cool to see the belief of the community and the excitement where there's an amazing product already. There's amazing art already, but everyone is so, oh, but wait, there's more. And it's just been so cool to see that, where the community is so engaged in this moment where things progress into this next level. It's pretty cool to see.
I agree, yeah. I'm kind of excited for the blender. Well, I guess it's not really a blender, right? But I mean, I guess in a way it works like a blender. You basically assign these
NFT oven.
Yeah, the oven, right? Sure. Yeah, so I'm like, that's what I'm kind of excited about. Plus, I'm kind of excited about. I might even be more excited about the comics. Those cards that are coming out. I think they're going to be really interesting.
The artwork is so dope.
Right. Yeah. Smithy, have you seen it? Like, do you know what's going to happen? Like, have you been working some of this stuff into your builds already? Or like, are you just sitting on the edge of your chair anticipating what's going to happen? Because now you're going to have a whole new level to be able to throw in there.
So, yeah, I think Sean kind of sent some pictures of the plot off of Shift City, so we can kind of work together a bit. So meet at a happy medium. Obviously there's some stuff that's quite hard to build with blocks, but I think, yeah, the artwork's really cool. So I'm going to try and imitate it as closely as I can. And yeah, I've seen a bit of it. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not, but yeah, love the artwork. Love the whole story too. The story's definitely going to drag people in. I thought, you know, I saw a little bit of it and I thought I'll read a little bit and I'll come back and check it later. And I read the whole thing then and there. And then I went back and read it again. And I was like, yes, this is good. But yeah, I think, yeah, the Shift City will definitely focus a lot more on the comics, and dive into that world and be more immersive in that sense, rather than the you know, 2.0 will be the other side of Finney as well. So you're getting like 2 for 1 really, which I think is really good.
I'd like to see a Finney attribute store, to be honest. I don't know how you would do that, but I think that'd be really cool. If you could find like some of these clothing, jewelry, you know, dogs in cages, and like put them there with like QR codes where people like could go in and find them. That might be an interesting concept. Although it would be a lot of changeover, but I think there's some really cool things that you guys are going to be able to do in there. So
yeah, definitely.
Well, with 2.0, you could definitely set up some QR codes, and first one to scan it gets a T-shirt. You could have a specially designed one. There's lots of cool ideas that you could definitely incorporate into Shift City.
Yeah, I've already started. Like, sometimes I'll go in and I'll hide a Finney coin somewhere, and all I've done is just import this little. It's like a Mario coin, I guess, and I'll hide it somewhere, and people come in and try and find it. And the first one was really easy, and I put the second one in, and even Reese was on a call with me. He's like, "Where'd you hide it?" And I'm like, I can't give you any secrets. Like, I can't give anything away. And he was on there for about an hour just abusing me. Like, where is it? I just want to know where it is.
Not even that. I think it was like 10 minutes in and out, and I was just raging because I was tired, ready to go to bed.
But I think,
and then you gave me a hint. I came back in, and then I just rage quit again.
Yeah. But yeah, I think people will definitely enjoy coming in, seeing, you know, being able to relate to the places that I've built and the artwork that's been created. and follow the story along in like a 3D way, which is, you know, which is really cool.
Yeah, MB, you got a good point. I think like this would be interesting too. If you, I mean, because yeah, it would freak me out in the best possible way if I was in if I was in Shift City, and I saw Finney running around. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, you have an OG crackhead chasing you down the alley.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But one thing we need to say, and I think everyone agrees, is that Smithy he should be praised to the infinite and beyond, because now we see, it's very interesting to see that we are already getting inspiration from his builds on Shift City and transposing it to the comics and to the whole storyline, which is amazing. So things are getting mixed up, and this is just because you are an amazing artist, and this is all the praise you're going to get from me, man. Okay, so
that's more than he's ever had in his whole life from his parents. Don't worry, that's a lot. Honestly, going through Shift City is the full adventure. Like the amount that like Smithy's not given out enough, but he works closely with Sean and Kenny on it, and like some of the underground is amazing. It all links up, it's all part of the story, and every aspect of Shift City has a place in the story. So massive props.
Yeah, and it's just a great builder too. Like we highlighted this, the fact that like a lot of that was created from just one photo. And if you go back to that cities roundtable that we did a couple weeks back, what you were saying about like how you would how you would like build the outline of the building and then fly back and sit on the hill and be like, no, that doesn't like look about right, and you had to like alter it. I think that's really cool. And after the stream as well, we had a conversation with another great builder, Small Town Cowboy, who was the Lad City designer and doing some other things in the Uplift that's really cool. So we're actually going to, at some point, probably next month, bring Smithy back on, and we're going to do a really cool kind of collaborative build, maybe even live. We got some ideas around that. So definitely tune in for that. I want to shout out this Finney Global competition, if you don't know about it. The link is in the YouTube article below. But to head all of this off, there is this kind of competition where you can win, like to celebrate Finney Volume 1, you can win some of these awesome prizes from the huge prize pool. And they're pretty good. They're pretty killer. The instructions here, what you need to do. I like it. It's basically download the poster. Go to local printers, print it out in A3 size or larger, hang it somewhere in your local town, take a photo of your poster in all its glory, and tweet it out with the hashtag FinneyGlobal. I don't know where this came from, and I don't know if this is true, but there was something floating around. Maybe one of you guys know in the Crypto Finney chat a couple weeks ago. Somebody was standing there with a sign that said like Finney Volume 1 is coming, or Finney 2.0 is coming.
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome photo.
Outside of a bank, and somebody's like, "Is that real? Like that's Photoshop."
It looked Photoshop. Well, we thought it was Photoshop, but it looked way too convincing that it was real. And yeah, he actually did it. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like,
Smithy, are we gonna hang one of these from the bridge near the shopping center in our town? Do you want to go halves in the price?
Yeah.
Is that cheating? Nah.
Take a picture and then submit it. Maybe you win.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it's undercutting yourself because you've only got one entry instead of two.
Well, yeah, I just shared my idea, so damn.
I kind of want to.
The prizes on offer are big too.
They are.
I don't think you really shed enough light on those. They are some big prizes.
Yeah.
The Surfer Finney is pretty unique. Not unique, but
that gold checkerboard cover and the Pulsar one are fire.
Yeah.
I wonder. Hey Corey, do you think if because our hometown is Uplifter Tower, do you think if we hung one in Uplifter Tower, and took a picture of it, we qualify because I mean, to live in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie, I was multitasking. What?
We should hang this poster near Uplifter Tower somewhere, and then enter this draw, and we could win. It says print the poster out and hang it in your hometown, and then take a photo of it and then tweet it. And I kind of feel like our hometown is Uplifter Tower, so I think that's
gold,
where
Jimmy. That's
I wonder
gold.
where we would put it. Yeah, no, let's just do that.
I've got some Upliftium, yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it. Done. I like it. Sweet.
MB in the chat had an awesome comment just now. He said, Finney avatars running around Shift City would be fun too. You know, what about some Finney Minecraft skins? I'd love to see the Finney fam come through Nemesis.
Yeah, dude, I thought about that. I didn't want to butcher it.
That'd be sweet.
We need John Trafford on that ASAP.
Yep. I actually tried to do it, and I got maybe an hour in. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Yeah,
I got 30 seconds in it.
Right.
Old
I'm
F4.
persistent, but yeah, it looked horrible. I thought, we'll sort something out. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I've just been waiting for John to get back to me.
If you don't know who John is, who's John? You guys want to explain for people who don't know?
He is the very talented pixel artist behind Finney, and yeah, I'd love to have him on a stream sometime and talk about all the effort that he puts into it, because like some of those, the Alvin Kelly one, I don't know how many of you saw that one, the Cool Keith collab. That was absolutely insane. At the start, he's only just, his eyes are opening and closing, then the beat kicks in and he starts clicking his fingers and bopping his head to it. Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, we did a stream. You might remember Sean and I in the park when I was in the park in the middle of the night, and that was the first time I actually really found out about John Trafford. And when I ripped one of the packs on one of the shows, when I burnt one of the coins on one of the shows, I saw that it was, I was like, oh, Sean, I got a special one. I got like a celebrity Finney. I don't pay attention to celebrities, so I don't really know who they are. But I thought like I got a John Trafford, and he's like, that's not a celebrity, man. That's like the guy who designed it.
Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a celebrity in the YouTube comments right now. Neil deGrasse Tyson just landed.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mind
real.
blown. The man, the universe, he just arrived. He wants to learn more about Finney.
I mean, when some entity is coming from outer space to check out blockchain and crypto, in the middle of
a
big deal.
While I love Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's never been to space, and he thinks NASA's better than SpaceX, so you know he can settle down. I remember him saying like there's absolutely no way that SpaceX will beat NASA into space, and now the only way NASA gets to space is by hiring SpaceX.
Shots fired.
Yeah, sorry, what?
Yep.
Did we start talking about rockets when no one was looking? Because I'm in.
Yeah. So what you see now is the drop site that's up, and it's in the comments below as well. And there's a really cool FAQ up here that you guys can check out if you have any questions about Finney or Facings or whatnot. If you don't know who Facings is, we should. Facings, we've had Lars. I have no idea how you commits McCoff's Stroff or something. I don't know.
just stick with Lars. That's fine. Everybody knows.
Yeah, right.
Don't do this.
I have trouble with your name, and that's 4 letters. How the hell am I? All right. But yeah, definitely check this out. So I think it'll be fun. Yeah, that's all the things I have really to show off. So take her away. No one?
I love the pixel artwork. Like when I was younger, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to build games and be like a pixel artist. And when I was asking Sean about it at the very start of the project, I'm like, man, this looks like games I used to play on the Super Nintendo. Like as like a 5-year-old. Like this is crazy. You know, and just that people are still out there and it's still doing this art. It just amazes me, and it's still so appreciated. like you could have a picture, someone could draw Finney, and it's not as impressive as building Finney out of pixels. It's very similar to how like things get put together in Minecraft. You have to use squares, and yeah, it's just amazing the textures you can create. You know how he can make Finney look like he's glowing and gold. The little animations too, like it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind.
Yep, someone said it good in the YouTube comments, nostalgia, and that's 100%.
Yep.
What John Trafford has brought back to many of us.
Yep.
But that's, I think that's the thing about pixel art is if you think about it, I think our huge connection with technology every day makes us go back to more analogic things that are way back there. For example, the last few years, everybody went and picked up old camera with film roll. Vinyl records are coming back, and more and more and more and more. So this is, I think, we need to be more in touch with something that is, how should I say this, more analogic, more man-made, that we know that is a machine there, but there's someone that needs to operate that machine to do it. And this is connected completely with nostalgia. And me as a Portuguese, I know it very well because we have one word for that. It's called saudade, and it's basically, it sums all of this. It's going back to a good time that you had on your life. Just get all the good stuff and then come back. And I agree with Smithy when he says it's like it's going back to my childhood. Yeah, for me too. Like I start playing games with like a coal fueled computer almost. It was nothing. And all of these things are bringing me back to that. And I think if you see the average age of our community should be around 30, 40s. As far as I know, there's some with 20s. But these with 20s, 20-year-olds, ones that we have are the geeky ones that probably collect all the old consoles and know about these games, because we can see it's hardly you never see one guy that is speaking about that and doesn't know what a Super Nintendo is. And with 20, what are the odds? Maybe he has a father that has one, or a mother. I don't know. I don't want to be sexist here.
No, it's interesting.
No, the nerds are taking over.
When I went to university in the late 90s, like I walked into university rocking like Led Zeppelin albums and you know, the White Album, like things that were 20, 30 years old, right? like nobody in my hometown was listening to that. Everyone in my university was. So you have a fair point there, right? Like if I go to an arcade and I play a game, like man, I'm gonna play like the oldest, most nostalgic game I can find, right? Like Double Dragon or something like that. Like, it's like, Mega Man or something. You know, like you got one jump in the game. It's like, but I going back to that, like Bullshipples is doing something really interesting. We had him on a stream, and it was only I looked this up. It was like less than 2 months ago, which is flipping crazy. But the pixel art that you had on Indiana Jones and your idea for that, and like running around and you know, basically putting that pixel art into like culture that we know and we love. And I think this is what like Finney does really well, is like they hit on cultural aspects that people can get into, right? Like what Finney 1.0, like what's your favorite accessory and why?
You know, I like the animals, to be honest. There's something exciting about there being another character in the thing. And, you know, I love this conversation about nostalgia because, and I'm going to soliloquy here, I have a dream. My dream, if I could take us into the future, is if I'm able to walk into Shift City and I'm able to walk into the Blue DAC exchange and I'm able to pull out my Shipple and I'm able to pull out some Finney coin and I'm able to put them into a liquidity pool and have it be an immersive experience as I'm walking around in this Uplift world. That's my dream. And what I love talking about nostalgia is if we can bring the art, the culture, the pop references that we all know and love, like Ready Player One style, and come in and bring that with us as we move into the future. You know, that's the future that's my dream. That's the future that I want to live, and I think we're headed there. But we don't want to lose everything that, you know, has given us joy, you know, through our childhoods. And so, you know, I love this merging of that time travel future, which we're so close to, and then bringing this nostalgia along with us, because that's the art that we want to see on our walls, even while we're walking through this new VR metaverse that we'll end up living in at some point. So,
Yep.
And I think Corey's great at that. And like, I don't know, I don't want to put like thoughts in his head because he's got enough brilliant thoughts of his own. But like the whole idea of what the Uplift has become with the images and the placements and the builds, like there's so much nostalgia in there. It's nuts. And so I was watching one on Twitter today, and there was this like really kind of churchy music, like almost like organ playing. I don't know if anyone out there has seen it. It was really well done. It was a brilliant video going through this build. And my missus, she's just like, hey, what? That's a game? Like, this is nuts. She's like, people spend a lot of time building this, right? Like, I showed her Shift City. She's just like, somebody built that? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you could spend that much time. Like, and number one, they're really good. They're much better than you, James. Number two, I don't understand how like people could do it. She's like, but to be fair, I did spend 6 hours the other day like gluing seashells onto a photo frame, and I'm pretty sure that like not a lot of people are going to do that. So it's like
fair comparison.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, what is it about these concepts that like keep drawing us back? Is it like, yeah, we in a way like refuse to grow up, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the Mario plot was built on. That was as soon as I had that thought, it just ran with it. It just flowed the entire way through. I had so much fun building that one.
You need to walk bullshipples through your freaking
bullshipples.
You need to walk them through that.
I'll gladly take you through.
What we have there is proof of art, right? Because art that lasts through the ages, and that nostalgia, and that art that creates a feeling and creates an experience, you know, that's truly proof of art. Because anyone can look at anything out there and say, oh, well, that's art and that isn't. But when you have proof of art, that's where something is timeless, lasts through the ages, and ends up surviving over decades. I love this idea that we can look back and say, well, yes, that, of course, from 2 decades ago was art. Well, why? It's because it lasted. It's because it meant something. It's because it created that emotion and that experience. Yeah. And I love what Finney is doing with creating that today that will last for decades because it's creating that nostalgia and that experience and that emotion in the community. It's pretty cool to see.
That makes me think I want to see a cat dog pet in the 2.0. We've got MB in the chat, wants to know, are there plans for more comics? Smithy, I think you know more than anyone else here. Why don't you take the lead?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say.
See, I'm trying to pry you because
spoilers.
I know you know more than me, and it bugs me. I want to know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to ask Sean. I think that's a good one for Sean to get that out of him.
I think
feel like we can go with there's definitely more than one release of comics. There's going to be a whole story.
Yeah, we've talked about this on our streams before openly. So yeah, we can definitely say that. This is the first one, right? Like volume 1. And
that's why it's called volume 1.
Yeah, Sean and Kenny are smart. Sean and Kenny are really smart guys. They wouldn't name it. They wouldn't name it volume 1 if there wasn't more than one. I mean, like they don't fuck around. Not like us, because I would definitely name it volume 1 if I knew that there was only going to be one. Just to get people.
Max troll.
Right. Ricardo, how about you? Like, how did you? I'm kind of curious. Like, how did you find the crypto writer community and Finney? Like, you kind of came out of left field into this whole space. You've just been running your podcast for not that long now, right? And people might not know it.
So, I'm going to say one thing that is probably a surprise for everyone. There's 2 responsibles for this, and it's you and Corey. Because, I was, let's say 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I was I watched all the podcasts. I have a 6-year-old. I was at home. We were with a COVID lockdown, so I spent a lot of time at home. And he was, there was a moment that he was having his class, and I was side by side with him and listening to podcasts. So it was just like this. And
hey, Daddy, are you watching the guy with the long hair and the guy who swears a lot?
Something like that. Something like that. His English is not that good, but he can understand some things. And you got Sean on the show. It was the first time that you and Sean and Corey were together in a show. And immediately I went to Telegram and I went to Cryptowriter. This was like on Wednesday, probably, or Tuesday.
Yeah, it was definitely a Wednesday. I remember that was probably one of our most iconic shows ever. Sean was just throwing shade the whole time. It was one of my favorite episodes ever. It was great.
Yeah, and it was it was a Wednesday, and next Monday I got my membership card. People don't believe this. Is like I got one of the first membership cards, and this was first week of March or something like this. As soon as I got there, Rice was already there. So Reese was there. Reese was there, and I remember his name since that moment. And it was like I worked my balls out for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just to say, okay, I'm part of this community. And for the people that are listening and watching, do this. Just work, and it will pay off. And I can tell it was love at first sight, because I gave a lot to the community. I'm still giving a lot to the community. And it's easy to get to this place. You just have to work. But it's the thing. But again, you two are responsible for me to get addicted to Finney and Finney coins and all of these things. Of course, I'm also addicted to Uplift. I have my plots, and I've been there. I'm always there, not always, because I have a family, but I try as much as I can to pay attention to my plots. I have my plans, but this is going to be.
I'm kind of freaked out now. I kind of feel like, the police are going to show up and arrest me for pushing crackheads on people.
Yeah.
Ricardo, it was you that, I think it was in the Telegram, you were saying something about how your son was playing Minecraft and you were there sitting on your phone watching somebody stream the Uplift.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought that was a pretty wholesome thing.
It's lunchtime now. He's having his lunch on a room. We have a big house for our holidays. He knows what he has to do. He's already playing Minecraft. Just had his lunch and he's playing Minecraft. And the nice thing is that he is the ones that teach me how to do things. He's teaching me. Whenever I have a question, it's like, how should I do this? And he's like, you're so dumb. It's like you mix this and that. Just put it and you do it. Can I do this with that? Yes. How do I do an elevator, a water elevator? Oh, that's really simple. Like, it's a 6-year-old telling me this. And my plan now is, as soon as he's 12, he's going to pay all the bills. He's going to be Smithy. So
Smithy wishes that was Smithy.
Yeah.
No, that's really awesome.
I was talking to somebody, I forget who and I forget when, but it was an interesting conversation about getting parents into Minecraft or into the Uplift or into crypto. There's been a few situations that we've come across recently where people are getting their like you say, 40-year-olds are getting their parents in the crypto and stuff like that. Like I see bullshit
giving them advice,
right? It's just like, and I remember like my dad called me up one time, and my dad, they have a huge house in Canada. My dad's jack of all trades in a sense, and he bought this old school house, and he bought it really cheap, and he renovated, he fixed it all up. a big family of four kids and 2 parents and a dog and a cat. Well, not anymore. They died, unfortunately. But you know, it's part of life. And they had good lives. So we're happy for that dog and that cat. Other dogs and other cats, not so much. But that dog and that cat. Anyway. Sorry, I digress.
So here's the thing.
Right, here's the thing. Exactly. Get on topic again. And they called me up and they were just like, hey, like, should, like, Corona, there's this thing, like, should we, like, what should we do? Like, are house prices going to go up? Are they going to go down? Like, I'm like, I don't know, just buy Bitcoin. So I told them.
Buy Uplift land.
And this was actually before Uplift land was kind of a thing. And it's funny, like, they came back to me a couple months ago and they were just like, Jesus, like, we should have bought Bitcoin, right? And I'm like, that's fine. You didn't. You know, I said the same thing to my brother about Uplift, right? I said the same thing to my other brother about, like, Finney coins and stuff like that. And it's fun being, like, in the beginning, right? Like, there's a lot of projects, a lot of NFTs. You know, Corey is one of my favorite people because, like, he's like a freaking walking encyclopedia when it comes to, like, NFTs, staking, like DeFi. Like, he's I don't know what he's doing. He's probably like, he's probably cracking eggs on a chain that nobody even knows about right now over there. He's like, but yeah, he like, bullshit was too. Like, I know you've been in the game for a long time. Like, what do you guys think about what future generations will think about things like Uplift? They'll think about things like Finney. Like, when they look back on it, it's going to be, like, really interesting, that the gamification and the scenarios that, like, kind of came to fruition, I think.
I love what you were saying about families coming together, Jimmy, because we're truly seeing that where, you know, parents and kids are able to play together. I just had a conversation yesterday with a dad and his son who were active participants in the Break the Server event, and they actually won that event with the first break. And there's this this young kid who's there with his dad, and his dad's a computer engineer, and the kid's just this friggin' genius. And so, you know, I'm taking notes as fast as I can because he's going through, hey, have you checked out this security concern? Have you checked out this way that you can do this thing? And there's this 13-year-old kid, right, who's telling me this genius level stuff that's beyond me. And so then I pass it up the chain, and the people I pass it to are like, whoa, that's crazy, right? And so the Uplift gives families the opportunity to come together, and this kid codes in Python and knows how to, crazy, right? So all of a sudden, families are able to come together, and this dad that builds out computers for a living is able to have his son involved in programming and work together and put him into the business. We're actually going to hire them as security guards in Shippletopia. Like, there's this really cool thing about the multi-generation. But even beyond that, what I love to see in the Uplift is that it gives a place where communities can come together, because we're no longer separate tribes, right? We are able to come together in a place where we can relate, where we can share experience, where we can share knowledge, where we can work together, where we can have groups of Finney fan and Shipple fam climbing Mount Nemesis to achieve the artifact at the top of it. Use a little spoiler there. But, you know, there's things that we can come in and do together. At the same time, we have our identities and there's competition. And the Uplift in the Metaverse gives us a place to do that. And I'm excited for, it's cool to see what's happened these past 3 months that we've been live, right? It's crazy that it's just been a couple of months. But I'm excited to see what happens in a whole year from now. You know, how far will this go in a year? And that just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's all like, and for someone like Smithy, I think it's almost impossible for you to finish. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna finish.
I don't think there'll be a point that's like, yeah, we're done. And I mean, as the story goes on, you know, I might have to make some changes to a building, like maybe a building falls down or something, so I'll destroy it and put something else.
I told you about the meteorite yet that wipes out Shift City?
Yeah. Drop a whole bunch of TNT. I mean, and built off Minecraft too. Like, I remember when Minecraft first came out and downloading it and playing it on this laptop at my mum owned a clothing shop, like an op shop, and I remember sitting there because we weren't that busy, and I'd sit there and I'd play the first edition of Minecraft, and I had no idea what I was doing. I'd just walk around digging grass up, and like, it was pretty basic. And then
that's all I do now.
Yeah. You know, and seeing how far that Minecraft can come, and it's still such a large competitor, and there's, you know, games that are coming out with like almost cinematic graphics and like real life graphics, and Minecraft is still up there. It's still the top dog. And, you know, and it's held that for a long time too. And they're, you know, some of the new updates with the main game, and they're, you know, they're being innovative, and there's all this light being shed back on Minecraft again. And I think, yeah, I think Minecraft will be like what we're saying with the nostalgia for like Mario. I think that's what Minecraft is going to be. It's going to be, you know, especially kids, younger kids from this generation will be like, oh, you know, it'll be like us, but with a different thing, and there'll be pictures of Minecraft art on their metaverse on the wall. Like, oh, do you remember Minecraft? So,
right, yeah, and
yeah.
I think like there's an interesting concept that, I mean, being on the blockchain is great, but the thing that I like about it the most is the ownership level, right? Like the building rights, the authority to have a plot and nobody can touch it but you, right? And that's kind of a story that Corey's told a few times on the stream. You know, first the cathedral got like blown to the ground. Somebody came in and did that. And this seems to be, I'm not a Minecraft player. And maybe some of you guys are, so you have a better idea. But I've heard from other people that this happens a lot of times, right? Like people will just come in and destroy your shit for like no reason at all. And I haven't actually heard of any other, you know, a metaverse or platform that is like ours where that can't happen, right? So like something like what you're building that's attached to the comic book, that's attached to the NFTs themselves, that has pictures on the wall, you know, that's, you know, subtly attached to the guy who created Dark Pinups, which is kind of funny too. But
it's family friendly.
Yeah, very, but I love it. But dude, it's so man. There's cover images at eye level for kindergarten students that are worse than Dark Pinups in Japan. I'm just gonna say that.
Wait.
I'll watch join together. I know.
I have a video right now, so I gotta run. But you guys rock. Continue to be rad.
Bro.
Also, sorry, we're gonna nuke all villagers. And for the record, I'm not actually. The system that's coming after that is gonna be a million times better. That's just like the whole channel. It's basically like two guys who have like 700 villagers between. Like, not super sympathetic.
What I want to do is I want to get an upliftium so that I can donate. I think it'd be cool if like everyone in the Finney community chipped in and just donated a little bit of upliftium, and we put shift in the chair. Right, like we impose like we impose.
I'll give you 100,000 right now if you make it happen.
Yeah, I'll donate. I'll cover it, Jimmy. Let's do it. Let's do it today.
Like, well, we
What's
need
that,
to know,
like half an hour for
we
you
need to know
shippers?
what shift looks like. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. And there's some really interesting things that you can do with it, right? And I think like what Ricardo was saying earlier and what you were saying right now, Rice, is that like this idea that this will be a living monument. I mean, unless Kenny and Sean essentially decide that a meteorite is going to hit Shift City, then this build will live on into infinitum, right? Like
I just want to imagine Smithy sitting there reading that, just like, oh no, the last 6 months of my life.
Yeah.
Or yes, it's like he's going to have more work to do, so it's an endless job, so no problem. But the good thing,
I know Bill Shipples has been like hard at it too, you know, building his thing. It takes a lot of work. Like Ricardo, I don't know where your plot is, but I'd love to see it sometime. Like Reese. Now I'm trying to say it right, but you see, it's your fault.
Now that I've changed my name.
Yeah, right. So Reese, you you know, you as well. Like I don't know how long those like Rubik's Cube, that's what I call them, Rubik's Cube plots take, right? Like all those like little like switchy things, right? But like in general, I mean, it's I don't spend as much time as I want to in there, but like just building simple things for me will take like 6-7 hours. So I can't even imagine how long some of these other things take, right? And
honestly, I didn't put that much time into it. It looks like I'd put a bit more into it, but if you can create a plot of land that has a level of playability that someone's not just going to fly over and be like, oh yeah, cool. if you have that playability and gets people in there for half an hour, I think that's the most amazing experience. It makes it all worth it.
Right? Yeah. I think it's going to be good for you when rewards get turned on. I'll just say it that way.
I have to host more competitions and
right. Yeah.
a few more Finney coins.
I mean, I'm excited. So I like it. But yeah, I'm excited for this new drop too. I guess it's when is it? Tuesday? Monday? Upcoming? No. It got moved back to the 20th, the Finney drop.
Yeah, 20th. Yep.
So I think, yeah, I guess next week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday-ish next week. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm definitely gonna. I gotta get more wax. God damn it, because there's a drop tomorrow for Yoshi coins too, and I thought the Finney drop was going to be like, because they pushed it back. I think the Finney drop was supposed to be tomorrow too. So I had all this wax that I was going to spend on it, but I ended up spending it on other shit. God damn it! I mean,
we all have that problem.
Right?
Yeah. It won't sit.
Like, I mean, so there. It's funny because the Japanese government for years has been preaching to people that the recession is their fault. It's not, by the way, but the recession is their fault because they're not spending money, and they need to spend money. They need to spend money. They need to spend money. But the more they preach that people need to spend money to jumpstart the economy, the more people start saving, and the less they actually spend money. And my solution to this. I have 3 solutions to solve Japan, but I'll just tell you one because the other 2 are brilliant, but they're not relevant. But my third solution to this is just get rid of the yen and make everyone use wax. Because if you make everyone use wax, it's going to be impossible for them not to spend money.
True story. True story.
It's so difficult to hold on to. It's like I'm excited to see what happens with these Finneys though, because I was like Corey. I was like, I didn't want to burn the coins because I thought that the coins are going to have some value. I think I have like 1 wax coin left. I've got quite a few EOS ones left as well now, but I haven't burned any on EOS. But then when I did burn them, I had all these base level Finneys, and it was like I don't want to burn these, right? Like I didn't want to upgrade, but then I finally bit the bullet and I upgraded to the BTC miner, and I got the base level miner and burned like some really good shit to be able to get that, and even bought some coins to be able to like burn those coins, but I just kept getting good stuff. And so I'm really excited. Like, what do you guys think is going to happen with Finney 2.0? When we get this new aspect with the cards. And one of the most interesting things I thought about the whole scenario, the whole system, was actually that you'll be able to use an EOS. I'm scared. Like, I'm legitimately scared because I wanted to save these EOS coins, right? And now you're going to be able to use an EOS base level Finney, or an EOS Finney, as like the base level to build upon on wax, right? So you can actually flip it and mix and match these, right? So there goes my EOS Finney stash. They're going to be all freaking gone because I'm going to
it's very ambitious at the moment. We do not have that confirmed. There's quite a bit to go into that, but that's going to
fair enough.
Hopefully happen later on. Like, it's a pretty big cross chain.
Sean hyped that up yesterday, I thought. So
if it was on Ethereum and things took 10 minutes for a smart contract, then that'd be perfect. It'd work. But, not on wax. So hopefully they figure out a way to make that happen. It's a crazy idea.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. So,
well, Jimmy, the only question I have left for you, after seeing how much fun the community had trashing on Reese, when are we going to have a throw shade at Jimmy event? That's what I'd like to see.
Everyone wins.
Yeah, it kind of happens like every day on the show. And every time I walk,
a little bit.
Yeah, just if you want to see the Jimmy shade throwing event, you just gotta stay up or tune in because it'll be early for you. But tune in on Friday nights because Sean does a really good job on the edge of obscurity and beyond. It's fun.
It would be
yeah.
an unfair thing because Sean would win it. Each one of these words is completely directed.
They're all daggers.
Yeah, it's basically bullying Jimmy all the time.
I know, right? Like it's kind of unfair. Like he pretends to be my friend, but he's not really, right? Like he and it gets even worse, right? He invited me to stay at his place. He told me I could stay in the shed, which he's gonna, renovate it. It'll be nice
if he can shit on you,
right? No, he's gonna like, and I
no, with words, not words.
And I, dude, I know Sean really well, and I wouldn't put anything past him. So don't. So he told me that I could stay in his shed, which was really cool. I thought that was really kind, and I said, "Well, I mean, as long as we got aircon and stuff like that, because my daughter's just quite young." He's like, "Well, yeah, the only thing is you're gonna have to ring the doorbell to talk to your family because my wife doesn't just want you to have free reign of the house." Oh, that's so mean. You're gonna let my family stay in your house, but not me? Like that's so mean.
No, you're going to be tied up in the shed. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
right. I mean, that's why I shaved my beard. It's like going for the deal.
I'd like to see like a Jimmy D 24/7 podcast. Like how long can Jimmy D podcast for nonstop?
Okay, number one, I'm not Adam Carswell. Number two, I successfully stayed awake for 67 hours once.
Wow.
I wrote 4 essays, 3 exams, drank a shit ton of alcohol and ingested other things. Fell through a beaver dam.
What? You wrote some essays, and then we ended up falling through a beaver dam. Like
these damn Canadians,
really far. Yeah, these Canadians,
right? And like by the end of the 67 hours, I was delirious, and I was sitting in my living room. My mate, he's like, "Dude, you gotta go to bed." I'm like, "I gotta make it to 70." He's like, "You're never gonna make it 67 hours." I was delirious. I went to bed, and I guess like they thought I was dead. Like this is like there was like it was like 24 hours later, I was still comatose. They're like, "What the hell do we do? Like he's still breathing. We don't know what to do." So their solution was to throw a party in my room, which they did with loud music, and a lot of crazy stuff happened. And I didn't wake up. They all went home. I woke up.
It's been like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, I woke up like 36 hours later. Yeah, I don't know. 24 hours seems like it's.
I mean, you were almost doing that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I kind of burnt out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's good now. Well, I mean, because I have like real world shit I have to do too. But I can't wait for the days where I can just like go do my real world shit in Uplift for 24 hours. That'd be fun. Right? Like, I don't know, like if you've done it. Probably you haven't, because you're as vanilla as me. But who was it? Small Town Cowboy was saying, I think that it was him, that he actually put on the VR goggles and like stood on the street of Lad City and like looked up. And like imagine doing that in any of those cities, right? Like someday we'll probably be able to do that in Shift City, right? Like I think this would be really interesting.
We probably could now.
All right.
I've looked at buying a VR headset, but every time I look at them and I look at the price and I'm like, nah, I can't buy that. But then I'll look at a NFT and I'm like, yeah, I'll spend that amount of money on that. Like
to Ethereum, that's nothing.
Yeah.
What's that? $6,000 bargain.
Yeah. Yep.
Like when do we get to the point where like I don't have to worry about like, you know, timing my jumps because of my slow internet connection? I can have a VR headset on and like I can have like little, you know,
you'll be jumping in your lounge room,
right? Like I mean, people think it's crazy, but it makes so much more sense to me than than we, for example, where you're just moving one hand. I mean,
yep.
I do a lot of that.
Right?
Yeah, no, I gave up on the VR after I played Doom. I had a few endo and I was playing Doom and moving around with a controller, and I got the worst motion sickness of my life that I sold the VR that afternoon. It was horrible.
Have you tried it, Martin?
I haven't yet. So, watching Ready Player One, one of my favorite things about that is the omnidirectional treadmill, because I think that could also help with that whole exercise.
Yeah, the treadmill would definitely help.
Stuck behind the laptop here. And then I've actually found one. I posted it in our Telegram. I found an omnidirectional treadmill, and there was like a promo video for it. I watched it like 5 times because I'm thinking, wait, I can actually buy that right now? That's insane. And so I think the future is both now, because it is, and it's coming at us a lot faster than we think. We are going to end up looking around at Ready Player One around us thinking, already? Really? Already? And I think that's where we're headed.
Yep.
It's definitely a lot sooner than hover cars.
No, but this is going to go faster and faster. This is the thing. If you think of all the technology upgrades that we've been having in the last few years, it's going to get faster and faster and faster. And one thing that I'm seeing is that, for example, the NFT communities are going to push it forward faster and faster and faster, because in the chats, if you need someone to do something, it will be there. It's one of your mates of one of the communities. So it's really easy. And we're talking about all of the people that are getting into the NFT space are tech geeks. I'm not. I like technology just because I can use it, and that's it. But most of the people that I see, they have skills. They have tech skills. So if something needs to be invented, just get a couple of brains, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and things are going to happen faster and faster and faster. And if we need stuff to be done just to be on the Uplift, for sure someone will show up from the communities and just do something with it. Because we have everyone now.
And one of the things that we've heard from a lot of people, right back from day one, one of the things that Jonah said, and a couple of weeks ago, Smithy kind of said it as well. There's always been people building in Minecraft, but one of the things that has actually been missing is people to see your builds. So when you can rally around something like Crypto Finney, and you can build this, and you can have a whole community that is backing this NFT project, or Lad City is another good one, right? Like, because they've already got communities. Neon Space is another one. They've got this idea for Metaverse, right? And they've already got communities that are in this. And then they're coming into the Uplift, and they're seeing like these awesome cities. And they've already got a storyline, right? They've already got a mythology. They're able to go up, because that freaking, you didn't get the inside stuff from the postcard, right? Like that travel up to the top of Shift Tower, like where you see the shift lights up as you go up the elevator, the water elevator. Like, it's just brilliant, right? And then you can see this, you can see it built in, and the day comes where you're all running around in the world. I think that's going to be really powerful, right? Like when you have this amazing build that now people are not only seeing, but interacting with, that's beyond the metaverse itself, is going to be pretty interesting. And I think that's a game changer. I noticed in the comments, somebody said, Morton said, surprised that's not in Japan already. This is kind of what made me think of it, because it very much might be. I mean, some of the biggest, most high-tech electronic stores are in the city that I live in, but I've got no friends to play with. So, so all my friends are here, like online, in a pixelated 1980s rendition of it, a game that we've decided to make our metaversal home. And that's more enticing to me than any technology could bring. So I think when the technology comes, right, I keep thinking about Google Glasses, right? It was a great idea, but it was like probably the second biggest flop of all time, because the world wasn't ready for it.
It was too early. Yeah, nobody was ready for that.
Yeah, totally.
Shipples, he got a question for you in the chat. can you say more about your plans and what you're building in the Uplift?
Oh, so they're looking for the spoilers. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we actually have another show coming up Monday, Jimmy, and we could talk a little bit more about Shipletopia then, of course. But I will give a spoiler or two that is related to Cryptowriter and Finney, because that's what we're here to do, is be fans of you guys today. Our vision and our focus is to create a multi-community event center where our builders and our building teams that have been active in there every day. They've started to call it the kind of the Ready Player One inspired Vegas Disneyland of the Uplift, where the goal is to create an event and create an experience where communities can come together. If you guys have seen Ready Player One, one of my favorite scenes is that dance club, right? The anti-grav dance club where they go in and they're dancing in the air. We actually built that in Shipletopia, and that's going to be one of our primary event centers. And we have 4 different stages where 4 different communities can do a live stream at the same time to the same crowd. And our goal in that is to bring communities together. And so if there's any musicians or DJs in the Cryptowriter Finney space that would like to come and perform on one of our community stages when we're open there at Shipletopia, we would love to bring communities together. We were talking about nostalgia a little bit, and Mario. We have a race that goes around Shipletopia. It's one of our events, and it's very Mario Kart inspired, right? Where you're on this track, you're going through these experiences, you're going through these scenarios, you're jumping, you're falling. Our goal is to provide an experience that means something, where you're not just bouncing around and active and getting seasick, but you're actually experiencing this nostalgic moment where you look up and see the thing come out of the pipe and you're like, wait a second, that's from Mario. And you have this nostalgic experience and emotion. If we can create that for multiple communities and bring them all together, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, awesome.
Spoilers.
I definitely need to come and check it out.
We'll give you a
I don't know if you
tour.
remember, I had a little bit of interaction with you when I was trying to trade for a few lands with one of my whale friends. He's I think, I'm not sure where he's at with building at the moment. We were trying to do some pretty amazing things for plans and other projects. Yeah, I definitely want to come and check it out and have a private tour.
Yeah, hit me up in the DMs. So anybody who's tried to visit, we actually have a box around Shipletopia right now, and it's do not pass. Sorry about that, guys, but we are actually going to do a grand opening. We'll announce the dates of the grand opening probably near the end of this month, and then we're going to project a kind of a big future event. But yeah, Reese, if you want a private tour, just hit me up in the DMs. We'll give you a private tour anytime.
Yeah, 100%. Jimmy,
guys,
you got a comment in here from Corey.
I'm
sorry, Ricardo.
I'm on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to take care of my son for a while.
Time to play Minecraft with him.
No, we're going to the swimming pool.
Nice.
Ah, beautiful. Enjoy, Ricardo.
See you later.
Seeing you.
Look forward to touching base with you sometime soon, Ricardo.
Yeah, we'll do something together. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that picture over. I think we're gonna put it up somewhere really cool. So let me just find it here. Again, all the links are below. They in the YouTube stream. You'll find them below, the 3 links that we showed off earlier today. So yeah, definitely print those things out. I'm gonna try to find an A3 printer so that I can put one up in Okinawa somewhere. That'll be fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to figure out a cool beachside location with a bunch of kids so I can scare them with the clown. It's like, I really like that clown a lot. I don't know what it is about that clown. It's like it's like Jokerish in a way, and it's really well done.
It is.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So, but I'm a big fan of all you guys, and I'm looking forward to having you all back on very soon. And as Bullshipple said, we will be doing a Monday evening, Tuesday for me, but we will be doing a Monday evening feature on Shallow Dive with Love with my friend Nathan, who you might know, which is pretty exciting. And Smithy, we're going to have you probably come back next month, and we're going to try to highlight some fun building activity. We had some really interesting ideas around that live, maybe. And Rice, sometimes just without soy sauce is fine. It's good. We're definitely. I'm just gonna keep harassing you because people need to know the cool things that you're doing. The Mario plot.
Yeah, I definitely need to fill it out, and please harass me because I do real life and metaverses and nostalgia.
What is happening?
You guys see me?
Here we go.
Oh,
yeah, we do.
What's going on, boys?
What is up, Puna?
That's great.
What are you doing right now?
Walking the dog. How are you guys doing?
Good stuff. Yeah, good.
Sorry I couldn't hop in, Jimmy.
No, it's all right. We were just about ready to wrap it up. So, but I'll stay on the line. But if anyone has to go. If not, let's have some. I don't know. I can't, my daughter's sleeping in the next room. I'm in the bathroom, actually. Well, not the bathroom. There's a.
Oh, we can smell it, Jimmy. We can smell it.
Yeah, great little whirlpool bath here. It's perfect.
We were just planning. We were just planning the throw shade at Jimmy event, and so I just want to throw this out there. Anybody that will post a throw shade at Jimmy meme in the Cryptowriter Finney channel. I will donate a Upliftium miner to everyone that creates a Jimmy meme and throw some shade at Jimmy today. It will last today. So let's throw some shade at Jimmy because we love Jimmy. That's the way it works on Cryptowriter Finney community is we throw shade at the people we love. So Jimmy, you've now been called out. And I'm going to throw some Upliftium miners at the crypto community here today.
I kind of feel like I'm going to have to throw some shade at myself. Yeah, thanks for that. That's fun. Luckily for me, no, I'm here all weekend. Fuck it. I'm going offline next week, probably again at some point, which would be fun. Because this time intentionally, not shade driven. But Dr. Poon, if you don't know who Dr. Poon is probably one of the longstanding Affinity community members. He's really fucking good with ducks.
Dr. Poon doesn't have a nice ring to it. Reese can beat you 4 out of 4 times, I believe. Yeah.
Hey, did you just say Dr. Poon?
Yes.
Yeah. Really bad.
My duck was on point last night, I'll tell you that. Or yesterday.
Your duck is always trash since our very first race.
He actually did win one yesterday.
Everyone was panicking because I wasn't on the stream though.
Yeah, it was good. It was all right. Sean was freaking out at me because I thought I sent it, but I didn't. And then, you mailed me and I sent it. And then I opened up my message from Telegram. He's like, "Did you send that to Doctor? Did you send that to Pooner? You gotta send it to Pooner. What's wrong with you?" So we know where Sean's shade is coming from. So, yeah, what's up, man? And what's your take on the whole Finney thing?
The whole Finney thing, I'm super excited for it, to be honest with you. I hope it goes really well for everyone, and I hope everyone can collect everything they want, for sure. I think with how the community is right now, it's going to go really well, so I'm excited.
Yeah, as Martin said earlier, it's a really good community. There's a lot of support in there, and even when people are. Yeah, I hope it stays that way. Right, I really do, and I think it has a good chance to stay that way.
I think the whole writer community is like easily one of the strongest communities in the wax space, at least. I mean, with like people engaging and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think maybe that's why our communities synergize so well, because I think it seems to me like the people that we attract are people who are interested in building, who are interested in doing something, as opposed to just seeking.
Very sad.
Are you taking Chewbacca for a walk?
Put the dog on the stream. We all want to see.
Yeah, well, I want to see the dog.
You can't have a dog barking and not show us the dog. Come on.
I wish I knew how to flip it. I don't even know if I can flip the camera.
Turn your phone around. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Good doggo.
Yeah.
Good pop.
Yeah, I got a question about Uplift, by the way, because you guys are just talking about it. I just tried to log into my account when you guys were talking about Upliftium, and my account is like no longer attached to my Minecraft account, and it just says error. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah, I was just reading in the Telegram, and Corey just posted that they're working on it. It sounds like it's a system-wide error, so it's not just localized to you. I think they're going to do a reset. Yeah, Corey just mentioned
No,
it.
I'm pretty sure it is just Boone.
Well, there's that too.
No, it's definitely just Boone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all talking about it. I was like, oh, I wonder how much I have. I go on there. It's like 0. I'm like, awesome.
I mean, we did have to
Sean
put up
just
a
said
few.
rug pull.
Yeah, had to put up a few Finney art pieces, and so we just took it out of your account. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
We've actually been planning this for months. We were just like, we're just gonna wait until the Finney. We're gonna wait until the Finney, or Volume 1 release show. Corey's gonna pretend that he has to do some like kind of business. I'll be distracted on here with the Finney folks, and like everyone's money is gonna be gone.
So good.
Yeah, it's funny with like the Uplift stuff. I tend to like forget that I'm even collecting it, and then I'll go look. I'm like, oh, right on. It's just like I never seem to look at it, and I don't know why.
Hey, dude, I work there, and I never look at it. So
at least with our plan, I just want to go on there and just dump it all. So it's better than that, I guess.
I think, it's going to be interesting to see how these projects, all of them, really. Make their way into the future on Wax. Like you said, there are some really strong communities in Wax. Sometimes we deal with FUD. Like I know Alien Worlds has had it. Our Planet has had it. But I think in the end, there's so many people that are dealing with NFTs. And I know Bullshipples for one, Reese for another, and Pooner as well. You guys are like big into NFTs. You always have been. And I'm just really interested to see how these certain assets are going to hold their value. Because there are going to be assets that hold their value, and there are going to be assets that don't. And there are going to be asses who get pissed off that they brought the wrong shit and nobody told them that they were buying the wrong shit.
Yep.
That's my favorite one. It's like,
Jimmy, I want to know a little bit more about Upliftium. What's in the future for Upliftium? Can you reveal anything?
Well, I mean, what we know now is that it can be used to put pictures up. It was strictly created to be essentially an in-game token. We've got some other things that we are planning on the back end. But for the most part, what we wanted to have was a token that was used in-game for people to be able to utilize, whereby we could essentially reward people for supporting us. And at the same time, then those people who were active would be able to use that token for something inside of our game. Now, the catch-22 of that was providing the crystallized Upliftium, and the melting of that Upliftium now means that once you crystallize it, it's out of our hands. So at this point, we probably won't do anything with it. We probably won't, put it on an exchange, for an example. But
it'd be pretty cool to see it on our call, right? Just putting it out there.
So what Jimmy can't say,
anyone can put it on. Anyone can put it on Alcor. You don't need.
So what Jimmy can't say is,
so I can pretend to be you and put it on our call.
Yeah.
Well,
I
here's
got
the
texted
thing:
with
beyond Alcor, right? Beyond Alcor, because not only do people say when Alcor because that's the current focus, but what if there was 5 more platforms that expanded beyond and turned the liquidity pools and all the DeFi that we see on the other chains, brought that to the Wax chain and allowed us to use Upliftium and use, I'm going to say this again, the future Finney coin, because you guys got to tokenize at some point, because I want to take some
There will
Shipple
be
and I
a
want to take some
tokenized.
Finney, right? And let's put it in some liquidity pools. Like, there's some cool things coming that are so much further beyond Alcor that I think people get stuck. People get stuck in the present and they don't see tomorrow. And I'm excited about tomorrow, because tomorrow, what we don't think is possible is being built right now. And Jimmy can't say that because he's part of the Uplift team, but I can say that. I can say it's inevitable. You know, people say when Alcor, the right answer is inevitable, but the Uplift won't do it. We get to do it.
Well, and just
And
to,
rug pull.
just to throw a little bit more in there. I don't think that this whole using a Finney on EOS and building it in the builder on Wax is as far away as you think. I actually think it might be close to here already. And
No,
so,
but to make it instantaneous is the hard part.
I get that. I do get that. But there are some things happening in the background that, if you think about it, it's only been 5 months since the Uplift world was created. Finneys have only been around for what, 6-7 months tops, I think. And not even. I think that
Not even that. I think they've been around for 4 months, maybe.
Yeah, maybe around the same time. I vaguely, yeah, you're right, because they did. You're right, because they did have statements about it before it was released.
Yeah, I remember gently bullying some writers into selling me their coins for $15 each. Good times.
Good times, yeah.
And I've been saying this for a while, but there's going to come a day where NFTs live on multiple chains, and they're not going to be subject to the same issues that tokens have.
I think we're nearly at that now with Owens. They're doing some big things over there.
Yeah, and so there's also going to be a day where probably Wax isn't the only NFT standard that's supported inside the Uplift. There's probably going to be a day where just as right now we're choosing to use Minecraft for the metaverse that we're building on, that doesn't always mean to say that we're going to be on Minecraft. If something better comes along, it's very easy for us to pick up and move. And this is one of the things that our Planet lands have kind of taught us. It's very easy to have an NFT that lives on 2 different places at the same time, because it's just a back-end code, right? And so what happens when your NFTs can live on more than one chain at the same time, right? Or can be like P tokens, for example, where you're depositing them into a contract and releasing them on the other side. And this isn't necessarily something that's coming from the Uplift. I think this is coming from the space in general. So I think what we're building now is going to be really interesting, right? Like, I know Cryptowriter got themselves into a little bit of trouble with Atomic Hub because they had NFTs living on 2 chains, and they were kind of before their time, right? And people were worried about the fact that, like, you know, how is this possible? How can you have Finney coins on EOS and on Wax? Like, what's going on?
There was a variation on them, but yeah, that was a little bit of trouble that the writer family went through on that one.
Right.
It was crazy. We were the #1 selling on EOS, and we weren't verified. I think we were maybe whitelisted, but yeah, it was silly.
And
but
yeah,
all
like,
of the NFTs require some sort of variation, like with all the character drops. I think Snap had her hair was a color on Wax, but it was the inverted on EOS,
Right.
and you get some like Finney's pants are blue on Wax, but they're black on EOS. Had to try and find ways around it.
Right. Well, I mean, that's because Wax supports more pixels than EOS. It's an app that they have to download. You know, like that waterproof app on your phone. Test it out. Don't test it out. But I think you know,
no, put your phone in the microwave to make it charge faster.
I'm gonna do that right now, actually. Going back to
same as if it's broken, you put it in a bowl of rice and leave it overnight, and someone will come and fix it.
Jimmy can just leave his on the street. He just puts it out on the front doorstep and comes back the next morning and it's fixed.
Right? It actually is totally true. I know both of us is working on some stuff that I'm presuming will involve Upliftium. I know other people are hosting events that will involve Upliftium. There's a lot of things that we are. Let's put it this way. I get really annoyed when people come into our channel and FUD and they get angry at us because the price of their land is going down, or because you know, they're losing value that they bought into, and it should be our job to fix it, right? And this bothers me because how many times do people come into the crypto market and say, we're in crypto because it's decentralized, because nobody controls it. But the minute the price comes down, they want that real world security for someone to like prop the token price up, right? And so I think what we're trying to do with the Uplift is we're trying to create an avenue for people to be able to build upon. And I think that's, you know, what we're looking at with Upliftium. So I'm kind of like Reese. I'm kind of like Smithy. I'm not exactly 100% sure what I'm allowed to say, which is kind of fun. But I do see Upliftium. I do see some of our NFTs. There's some interesting things happening with Nifty blocks now where you can actually blend two collections. Before you weren't able to do that. Now, what Marty was talking about, it in a way already exists. We could come to a collaboration and a partnership whereby we could potentially take a Finney. We could charge Upliftium and Finneys to put them into a blender on Nifty blocks and use one of those Finneys NFT cards that are dropped to your wallet to mine Upliftium, for example, or use it to be a precursor for future for future Finney drops, right? Like there's all sorts of things that these different projects are putting out that I think maybe some of these non-tokenized tokens are going to be really useful. And they might actually come in a little bit more handy, not being on a place by Alcor by our company, when you know, the powers that be wisen up to the fact that NFTs are just tokens with pictures on them. Basically, NFTs are money, right? Like money is non-tokenized NFTs. It's a piece of paper with a picture on it, right? And all an NFT is a token, in my opinion, that has this like imagery attached to it. It's actually a better representation of tokens, in my opinion, right? So I can see things. I don't know. It's only been 5 months, man. Like it's nuts. I can't even believe that we have an internal token after 5 months. I still don't know how to build a freaking waterfall in the game. Like how?
You hire Reese. You hire Reese to come on your plot.
No, I
will break things so you can climb up.
Right.
I love it.
I still think you were messing with me. You probably have some gravity block above my head that I didn't even know about.
Always. I'm just waiting for this to finish so I can go and put up a meme of you.
Yeah, right? Like
I need that Upliftium.
Totally. But definitely, I think we're going to probably, the 20th is Tuesday. So we'll probably do, I think Sean will be back. I'm not sure. I think Sean will be back next week. I'm not sure. So we might do something. I know Adam's going to do something for the Finney drop. So we'll probably see Rice, and maybe I'll jump on there as well. Some of the other community members. You guys are going to continue your poker thing. So have fun with that. Bullshipples. Thank you for donating Uplift.
Yes, thank you for providing that and giving the Ryder family some fun during the day.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Everybody loves it, even if
it's
for nothing.
Had to buy 50 more miners, so I have something to give away to you guys.
That's good.
Good times.
Thanks for jumping in, Dr. Poon. Even though you were late, come back anytime. I want to see you again.
Thank you. It was good. I'm sorry I was so late.
No, it's okay. It's not you that should apologize. You were actually not really that late. Usually we start the stream an hour earlier, an hour later, and we run until 15 minutes after this. But somebody down there.
No, I'm on the opposite corner. Don't be.
Somebody down there. Right. Apparently, it was too late for his bedtime.
What time is it there?
This stream went a little bit late. Let's be honest.
What time is it?
Nearly 12.
Oof. Yeah, that's a bit late, I guess.
Still got that pleb 9 to 5.
Yeah, fair enough.
9 to 5.
We'll see you guys all. I gotta get going too because I'm sitting in the shower room with the dryer running and it's freaking hot. Yeah, let that be your meme. See you guys.
The vision's not coming out of my head.
Yeah,
thanks for the imagery.
I mean,
I'm gonna go have a shower.
Yeah. Not sure how I feel. Not sure how I feel about that now that I think about it. Don't scroll back on the photos in the Yoshi Drops public channel. That's all I'm gonna say.
Going straight.
I'll see you guys all next time. Thanks for coming.
Thanks everyone. Peace out. Is that it?